In 2023, in the early hours of one of the days in 2023, I think this was around 4 a.m. in the morning, a particular guy reached out to me on my WhatsApp, and on my WhatsApp, I have a lot of audience, right? So one of those guys just reached out to me. He was a graphic designer, so he reached out to me and he started complaining about the fact that he had not been getting clients, right? And ideally, I would not have responded to him. This was around 4 a.m. and I was on my phone at the time. I knew when the message came in, but ideally, I would not have checked out the message immediately that I did. Because prior before then, I think some weeks before then or so, I had dropped a long thread on my WhatsApp status, because my WhatsApp status is majorly a place where I just teach and I just inspire young people. Like, I share a lot of value on my WhatsApp space. I'm currently off the space now in 2025 though. Like, I'm on social media break from my platforms, right? But then, to get more details around that, I already made a video around the social media break. You can just check the description box below. But then, let's continue. So the guy reached out to me and he was complaining, and like I said, I would not have responded to the guy that morning, because prior before then, I had dropped a thread around client acquisition, around why people are not getting clients, and how that if you are not getting clients, one of these must be the reason. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to create a video around that. I shared this in a thread and it was a very long thread, but let me know if you want me to share a video, if you want me to create a video around why you most likely are not getting clients. But in this video, you are going to eventually discover one of the reasons. Definitely, that's why I'm making this video. So I indulged the guy. I just feel like, okay, let me indulge that particular guy that money. Left to me, I would have just shared the link to that catalog. It's my WhatsApp catalog. That thread I said I made, I archived it to my WhatsApp catalog. So usually when people reach out to me complaining about the fact that, oh, I've not been getting clients, blah blah blah, what I just do is that I just share the link to that catalog with them, right? I share it with them so that they could go through all of that. But that day I decided to indulge the guy because I wanted him to confirm the reason by himself. In fact, when he read out, the first thing that came to my mind was this guy. I knew why this guy was not getting clients. Like, in my mind, deep down, I had already done the permutations and the combinations in my mind, and I could already guess why he wasn't getting clients. Because trust me, I have interacted with thousands of designers and I know, right? Because a lot of designers have been reaching out to me, have reached out to me in the past complaining and all of that, and I've trained a lot, right? I've directly interacted with a lot of designers. I have communities that are just design communities, so I know what I'm talking about. So when people reach out to me and say, oh, I've not been getting clients, usually there are so many reasons that come to my mind. So that day I decided to indulge the guy and just discuss with him, because I didn't just want to tell him that this is why you're not getting clients. I wanted him by himself to confirm the reason. And the next set of questions I would ask the guy that day made him confirm. Like, by himself, he discovered the reason why he had not been getting clients. And that is exactly what I want to share in this video, right? So ensure that you pay attention and you listen, you really follow to the end. It's not going to be a very long one. All right. So that day, I started my design journey. Let me just give a little backstory, right? I started my design journey 4 years ago, right? This was in February of 2021. I was 16-year-old, right? And that same month, was it that same month? I think less than 1 month after. I started my design journey in mid-February 2021, and less than 1 month after that, I got my first client. About 2 months after that, I got another client, and it just became a roller coaster from there on. Now, what I'm about to share with you, I can't guarantee that it will always give you clients, but I can guarantee that it can always give you clients. I don't know if you get that, because there are other factors that we can consider when it comes to client acquisition, and that's why I asked you that, do you want me to create let me know in the comment section if you want me to create a more detailed video around client acquisition, right? I've not mastered, right? So I can't really say I've mastered client acquisition per se, but there are things I've shared, because I mean, I've trained students that have put crazy results when it comes to client acquisition. So there are things I can share that will definitely help you in your design journey around client acquisition. So, but then back to what I was sharing. So I got clients. I got my first client less than 1 month after I started my design journey, and there are designers that are saying they haven't gotten client for months, some even years after they started their design journey. Like they've not gotten a single client. Anyways, this is why this video is for you, and it's for intermediate. It's for you whether you're a beginner, an intermediate designer, or maybe even an expert. I mean, you can always pick something from this video. Now, how come even as a newbie designer I could get a client that could trust me enough to allow me and do our design? What happened was simple. I let people know the skill I had gotten. And as simple as this sound, this was the reason why the guy, this was what he confirmed. And I didn't even tell him that this is why you've not been getting clients. All I did was I asked him, all right? So I asked him that, okay, what social media platforms are you on? He mentioned some of them. He mentioned WhatsApp. He mentioned Facebook. He just mentioned, I think, Instagram. Okay, I asked him that, okay, so how often have you been putting yourself out on these platforms? He could not reply, right? He could not give a tangible reply. I asked him that, okay, he said he's not active on Instagram, right? He said he's not active on Instagram. He said he wasn't he wasn't really active on Facebook, that he has some friends on Facebook and all of that. Then on WhatsApp, that he's more active on WhatsApp. I asked him that, okay, how many views do you have? I think he said about 200 views. I said, okay, out of your views, who are more of the people that view your status? He said graphic designers. And from every of the questions I was asking him, it was so obvious that this guy was not putting himself out on social media. And so I began to ask him that, okay, the question is, where exactly did you want the client to come from? Facebook, you are not so active on. Instagram, you are not putting yourself out. The WhatsApp, the people that are viewing your status are other graphic designers. Maybe because when you wanted to generate your leads, the lead magnets you were using were graphic design related. You were using design courses and all of that. The question is, where exactly are you expecting the clients to come from? And that is the question I am asking some of you right now who are also having the same complaint. The question is, where are you expecting the clients to come from? Like, the client will not just come down from heaven and just come and say, okay, I need your service. No, right? So you need to put yourself out. That's just the point. The reason why I could easily get my first client about 1 month after I started my design journey was simple. My siblings knew I had started design, and the first client I got was through my sister, and she paid. The amount she paid then was about, I think, 1,200 naira, right? But then it was a lot to me, because the first class I paid for that class, I paid 1,000 naira for that class, and that 1,000 naira I paid was all my money. Like, I just risked it. I was like, okay, let me just give this skill a try. If it doesn't work out, fine. So the money I paid was 1,000 naira for my first design class, right? This was in February of that 2021. That actually made me start my design journey. And then I'm getting a client that is now paying me 1,200. I got a client that paid me 1,200. That's a lot. You can just compare them. You can see that I pay 1,000 for a class, and then I'm getting 1,200 from a client less than 1 month after I started design journey. That thing did something to me. It made me see the potential in what I was doing, that okay, it was possible to actually really make money from this particular skill. And from there on, my other sister also referred me to another client that I think gave me 500 naira recharge card or something. But all of this money meant so much to me because I was 16-year-old, right? I was 16-year-old, a guy that had always wanted to make my own money by myself. Now, making my own money, no matter how small it was, it meant literally everything to me at the time. So as much as possible, put yourself out. And this is one thing I see that a lot of newbie designers struggle to do. Many of them are waiting for them to be pros, to be professionals, before they start putting themselves out. And in fact, some of the design communities are not making it easy in a way where easier in the sense that they keep saying, okay, game mastery, game mastery, game mastery before you start putting yourself out, which is not exactly true. I get where they are coming from, I get their point, and I also encourage that in a contest, but it does not mean that you should not put yourself out, whether you're a newbie designer or whether you're an intermediate designer. It doesn't matter whether you just started graphic design yesterday. But the first design I created, I posted it on Instagram, and you could literally see my caption. You would think I'm a pro designer, even though it was just a replication design, right? But I started putting myself out early, and so opportunities started coming early. Because understand that the client you are looking for, they would not just find you miraculously. No, you have to put a structure in place. So it was easy for me to get my first client because I wasn't hiding the new skill I had gotten from my siblings. I wasn't hiding it from my sisters. So immediately my sister found that a friend needed a client, a friend needed a designer. Okay, immediately she referred me because, oh, my brother is a graphic designer, and he can do it for you. And I did it for the client, even though the design is bad now. I mean, looking back, the design is actually very terrible, but the client was happy. Like, the client was excited, right? The client was really happy to see that project because it satisfied the client, and that is what matters. And she happily paid me. In fact, left to me, I wouldn't have mind if she didn't pay me anything, if she didn't pay me a dime, because for me then it was more like, I mean, she was my sister's friend, so it's something I could even do for free at the time. But even aside that, I was also a newbie, and I understood the fact that I was a newbie. So at that point in time, I wouldn't even have mind if she didn't pay me anything, right? I didn't even charge her. I didn't tell her the amount to pay. She just decided to pay me the 1,200 naira, and that was it for me. So the point I'm trying to make is, put yourself out, right? This may not be for everybody, but there are people, some of you are listening to me right now, and you know that this is exactly what has been holding you back from getting clients. The clients you are looking for are available. As competitive as you may want to say the design space is, which is true at least now, at the same time understand that people are getting clients. And people that are getting clients are not people that are hiding themselves. No, the people that are getting clients are people that keep putting out themselves on social media. And you don't even have to be a pro to do that. You don't even have to be an intermediate to do that. As newbie as you are, start putting yourself out and start letting people know what to do. Put yourself out confidently, even as to keep embracing growth. I don't know if this helped at least one person. Let me know in the comment section if this has helped in any way. I will see you in the next video. And let me know in the comment section if you want me to create a more detailed video around client acquisition. See you in my next one.